Alright, here we are in Roppongi Hills. Phil and Dallas again. And we're at Starbucks. And I'm going to ask Dallas a tough question here. So Dallas,
yes.
Many theists claim that without objective purpose, there's no reason to live. Would you agree?
I don't agree, because I think that orangutans haven't got an objective purpose for life, but they continue to live.
But what if they knew they had no objective purpose in life?
Well, that wouldn't inhibit them from living.
True. But
it doesn't inhibit us from living.
But isn't it depressing to know that we have no objective purpose?
I don't think it's depressing because there are many aspects of life and our interaction with our environment that bring pleasure to the experience of life.
So it's all about pleasure for you?
Yeah, I mean it's about happiness and pleasure and bringing happiness for your family and yourself,
so
maximizing it.
So when you say pleasure, you don't necessarily mean hedonism or...
No, I'm talking about I guess you could say the more mundane pleasures of life, in family and relationships, friendships.
Right. So when you're on your deathbed, what thoughts will be passing through your brain?
I actually don't know what thoughts would be passing through my head, to be honest. I think that when humans are faced with death and they haven't come to terms with life before that, they reach the point of facing death, then more times than not they begin to become fearful and question, the decisions that they made in life. And a lot of people do regret some of the decisions they've made. But people who have already come to terms with life have very peaceful deaths. And I don't know if I will be at that point in my life by the time that I die, to be honest. At this point, if I were to find out I was, if I were to die in a week or something, I'd have to say that there's probably there are a lot of decisions that I've made in my life that I would be regretful of and wish that I had more time to rectify going forward. But I think that maybe that would be the case at any point in my life. So I don't know. I mean, what about you? I mean, what would you think on your deathbed?
Actually, I'm ready to go anytime. I've had a good life. I don't know, I just have so many good memories to look back on. I've made mistakes in my life, but I can't really call them regrets. They've made me who I am now, and I'm very happy with who I am now, so I don't know. I can't say I'd want to live life any differently.
Yeah.
So,
and I think even comparatively, I've also had a very full life, even at my young age. I've traveled the world. I've been to over 15 countries. I've spent time learning other cultures and languages. I've spent time mastering, very specific sciences and things like this. I think I've found a lot of fulfillment in that.
Right.
So if I were to die, I would say that definitely I've lived a very fulfilled life in that regard. But I also think that there's a progress for a human as we go through the different various stages of life, where we feel like we've reached a level to where we may not be so susceptible to our emotion in certain circumstances and whatnot, and then we can make more rational and better decisions based on that. And I think that that's a refining process as we go through this experience. I'm not ready to die. I wouldn't want to die next week, and that's simply because actually it's not so much that I don't feel like I've lived a fulfilled life as much as it is I have responsibility to my children and my wife. Of course, I wouldn't want to leave her, by herself here.
Maybe that's one reason why I'm still single. I don't
well,
worry
you still
about
have
anybody.
sons,
Yes,
and they would miss you.
But I don't worry about anybody too much. My daughter's married, my sons are independent. I don't worry about them too much. They're in much better shape than I was when I was their age, perhaps.
Well, you don't need to worry about it, but you also want to be able to let them have the experience of a father who accompanies them through the various stages of their existence here, right? I mean,
yes,
coming from a perspective of someone who had an absentee father.
Yes.
In fact, it's terrible news, but just recently, my father committed suicide. In very terrible circumstances, and I wouldn't want to steal the things from my children that have been stolen from me because of that.
Yeah, well, that's a motivation to make life better for your kids. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, you got to stop worrying about your kids and realize.
Well, I will once they're out of the house. They're still young.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they're still at that point where they need guidance,
Right.
to make the right decision. And actually, the truth is, if I were to pass away at this early stage in their life, it would have such a deleterious effect on them going forward. They may, fall susceptible, or they may, find themselves susceptible to making some very poor decisions because of the sadness and whatnot that they would experience having lost a father.
Right.
I mean, if you look at it statistically, that's what happens, and I wouldn't want my children to be a part of that statistic.
Right. I agree. I think my divorce had a negative effect on at least 2 of my 3 children.
And I can see my divorce also had an effect on my children.
The divorce was not my choice, but
Oh, really? It wasn't your choice? Well, okay.
But yeah, I was I was pretty messed up back then. I was a Christian.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have preserved my family and at the same time have extracted myself from Christianity. But it looks like that could never have happened.
Oh yeah, you can't change the past.
Right.